Thank you everyone for staying with us. We are in for a real treat. We have the Minister for Industry, Pak Airlangga Hartarto with us. We're going to have Pak George Iwan Marantika, a good friend of mine, a member of Kadin, a well-known businessman and academic educator from Jogja, and of course, Ibu Rector, Pak Patrick, Pak Paris, they're all here. We're going to get this session started soon. It's going to be a dialogue session. George will lead the discussion. I urge all of you to please participate. This is a great opportunity to ask the Minister, who is so graciously taken some time off to be with us this afternoon. I've known Pak Airlangga for a few years now, Pak. I had the honor and the pleasure of interviewing you a couple of years ago. He's a very insightful, very broad-minded, and I think a visionary thinker. And I think we should use this opportunity to really maximize his time here. So over to you, Pak George.
Thank you, Pak Shweb. Today we have the honor to have the Minister of Industry, Pak Airlangga Hartarto, here, and we like to thank also Ibu Rector of University Gadjah Mada and Pak Shweb Kabda, obviously the organizers, and that invited Minister Airlangga Hartarto here. And the topic we're going to be discussing today is a conversation. We'll have a conversation of 15-20 minutes, and then a dialogue with the audience. And that is regarding the theme that we have here today is driving innovation, reshaping Indonesia's economy. And in this perspective, obviously, industry is the backbone of Indonesia's economy, or one of the backbones and pillars of Indonesia's economy. And as in the discussion in the last 2 days, we see a lot of disruption because of the entrance of technology. Professor Schwab of the World Economic Forum calls it the fourth industrial revolution, where fusions of technology and digital, physical, biospheres are able to interlink and able to become a driver in innovation, in which demand and supply chains all become disrupted. And the question at hand for Indonesia in 2017, and this is a challenge that the minister as a policymaker will obviously have to face, is that how will Indonesia's industry be able to leapfrog into the fourth industrial revolution. As we see today, maybe we're actually in reality in the second and third process of industry, in which mechanization and factories are still, assembly lines are building up, but we are now in a new phase. And with that challenge, I will ask the minister to share with us what he sees, obviously from his perspective of how Indonesia will face the fourth industrial revolution.
Thank you. I think I just got the first disruption. It's the mic disruption. And thank you. I would like to thanks the organizer, Ibu Rektor, Pak Sueb, Pak Suryo, Pak James Kessel, and all the people who remain here for the last session. And I think the issues of digitalization of 4.0 is something that is a challenge for Indonesia. And as we are all aware that during the G20 meetings in China, the last G20 meetings, the agenda is not on the Industry 4.0, but on Industry 3.0. As we are all aware that the revolution of the industry, it has 4 stages. One is when the first steam engine was introduced, then the mass production of the factories, and the third is the robotic of the machineries, and the fourth is combination between the machineries and Internet of Things. The Ministry of Industry, I think we have to think we have to consider many things, not only automation between robotic and industry and Internet of Things, but we have to consider also the brick and mortar business, in which we have sectors that we will push for the developments of the Indonesian economics. Among others, of course, the mineralization of the industry, the value added of the mineral resources that is available. The second is based on the forestry industry. And also we have to push for export industry, which is based on the labor intensive. So labor intensive and job creation is the policy that Indonesia has to embark prior to the more automation of industry. For Ministry of Industry, we divide the industry based on the product. One is consumer-based product, in which the consumer-based product, the industry like food and beverages, and then fashion industry, and then also the toys, multifarious industry, which is consumer is the end user. With this initiative on the digital, we divide or we create an architectures using the Ministry of Information's architectures, the broadband infrastructures, as well as the satellite that is being created or being used by state-owned enterprise like BRI. And then on top of that base infrastructure, the Ministry of Industry have information-based infrastructures that the data is consists of all of the industry in Indonesia, which is include the capitalization of the industry, the management of the industry, the product, the standard, and whereabout to the location, as well as the product. And then we have platform to connect into the market access, then platform for the financing, and platform for the logistic or warehouse, collective warehouse or bonded warehouse. And then on top of that infrastructures, we have e-smart IKM or e-smart IKM is mainly platform for the electronic commerce for consumer product. Then the product that is the sectors that is created for e-commerce, the first product will be the jewelry, and then the furnitures, and then the fashion products, and then multifarious industry. And on the other platform, the industry 3.0, our approach is through a value chain, through the product value chain from the downstream, from upstream to the downstream, including the midstream. So each industry product can be connected with an electronic platform, and hopefully this will integrate the logistic as well. So along the value chains, we try to minimize the cost, and the government will facilitate not to disrupt the value chains, so the product will have a competitive edge. And then the other niche sectors will be for the Industry 4.0. As we are know, even in German, Industry 4.0 still on the trial and error basis. The Angela Merkel just started in 2013 and it's just 3 years. And Indonesia will provide a platform for this with a few initiatives that under the new facilities for IT, for instance, the innovation centers is being used as a local content for electronics or for smartphone, for instance, or for tablet and for others. We use these innovation centers as part of the facility to push more quote unquote a campus type of facilities to make an Indonesian employee or Indonesian worker or Indonesian people more quote unquote able to work either with other platform, whether it is Apple or other. We know like just a week ago in Singapore, they just created Google campus. I think this is something that we can see as our challenge or as an opportunity for the Indonesian employee or Indonesian professional to use this free flow of labor in the ASEAN market to take the opportunity to learn from this available ASEAN economic community. And for Indonesia, we limit into 4 or 5 sectors. One sector in the electronics. We have electronics facility or innovation centers is available in the Bogor area. Matsushita Gobel is a model of Industry 4.0 in which the economic of scope can be created to produce a competitive product. In the past, in the Industry 3.0 or Industry 2.0, the key for competitive advantage is only from mass production. But in Industry 4.0, with the same production facility, you can make many products. But the many products that can be created, it has to be computer generated or it can be operated from a distance through Wi-Fi or other technologies. And the other facility that we will push is for the upstream of textile industry. And then the new cement industry, as well as the new fertilizer or chemical industry. This is the sector that we would like to push as a model of Indonesian 4.0. So the strategy of the ministry not to push everything on the one directions, but to differentiate into 3 economic platform. The eSmart IKM, where the small and medium enterprise can be pushed to create more employment as well as to create entrepreneurs. And in order to do that, we also prepare a platform which other digital player from overseas can play, which the hub for this domestic e-commerce and the global e-commerce. We will create a platform that they will meet in the logistic warehouse hub. Then our can monitor the transaction, and the government is already come up with the new policy, the policy number 14, in which the government can make differentiation of the tax of goods for digital economics. And then for others, we still working on the platform, and we still working on the design of the concept. Hopefully in the year 2017, the system will be up and running. As far as in the Ministry of Industry, Now we are dry run